Hello students, welcome to electronics class. In the last class we have studied unclocked SR latch, right? In that we used 4 NAND gates where the first 2 NAND gates used to work as inverters and the second part of the circuit where it was a active low NAND latch. So active low NAND latch can be converted into active high NAND latch, that is unclocked SR flip flop using 2 more NAND gates as inverters. Okay. In the up to this what we have studied latches, their output used to change at any point of time, at any instant of time when the input changes. But now we are going to study the new one, that is clocked SR flip flop. Flip flop, what is a flip flop? We have studied it is a bistable multivibrator which is having 2 stable states until an external input is applied to the flip flop, it will not change its state, right? And clock, clock is a periodic train of rectangular pulses which is going to synchronize the digital system, which is going to monitor the digital system. So now what we are going to study after this, those are all clocked circuits. Clocked circuits in the sense clock is going to tell when the output has to be changed. When the output needs to be changed, that is decided by the clock signal. When the clock is high, the output, the circuit starts working, or when the clock is low, the circuit, that is depending on the clock. In clock we have also studied what is a clock signal. While studying clock signal, I have told you it is a level state, it is a positive rising edge or positive going edge, it is falling edge or negative going edge, and depending on when the circuit or the flip flop is going to respond, if the flip flop responds when it is going from low to high, when the clock signal is going from low to high or high to low. So those are called as edge triggered flip flops, I told. If the flip flop is going to respond for the rising edge of the clock signal, then it is called as positive edge triggered flip flop, and it is represented by positive edge triggered flip flop, and it is represented by this symbol. Okay. And if the flip flop is going to act for the falling edge, then it is called as negative edge triggered flip flop, and it is represented by this sign along with the bubble. That and all you will study in further flip flop classes, what are this positive and negative edge triggered flip flops and all. And if the flip flop is going to respond for this high state of the clock signal, then it is called as level triggered flip flops. So for our PUC, we are not going to distinguish any positive or negative edge triggered, we are going to study level triggered only. Just they have mentioned clocked flip flops. Okay. And in your degree, if you are going to study electronics, digital electronics, you are going to study different types of flip flops than what you have studied here in PUC. Okay. Clocked SR flip flop, the circuit diagram, the block diagram, the symbol, it is not a block diagram, the symbol of clocked flip flop is SR, and it is clock. It is Q, output is Q bar, and the circuit is constructed using 4 NAND gates only. This is the output Q and it is Q bar, and here S input, and here R input. Here we have included one more input, that is clock. We have included one more input, that is clock. Its working is similar to unclocked SR flip-flop. Only difference is we have added one more input, that is clock. Okay. So here how it works. Let me write the truth table. What are the three inputs now? Clock, S and R. Outputs are Q and Q bar. And comment. Let me verify whether it is visible or not. The truth table is visible. Yes, it is visible. So the first condition is whenever I will name this as for your reference, it is not required, G1, G2 and G3 and G4. Whenever the clock is 0, what is the truth table of NAND gate? A, B, Y. For 0, 0 it is 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1 it is 0. Right? For whenever the clock signal is 0, the output is going to be 1 only. If any one of the input is 0 of the NAND gate, the output will be 1 only. So if for gate 3, if you are giving 1 and here also it is 1, it is a active low NAND latch, both are 1 1, it should go to hold state actually. For example, if you want to try initially Q is 0 and Q bar is 1, in the sense 1 and 1 will be 0, 0 and 1 will be 1 only, it will remain. Or if you want to try, if it is 1 and 0, 0 and 1 remains 1, 1 and 1 goes to 0. That means it is going to maintain the hold state. That is, whenever the clock is 0, irrespective of S and R, we are not going to check S and R inputs, because one of the input of the NAND gate is low, output will be high only. So no need to check S and R. It doesn't matter if S is 0 or 1 or R is 0 or 1, it doesn't matter. So irrespective of the S and R inputs, if the clock signal is low, then what happens? It is the output of these gates will be 1 only. So whenever the clock signal is 0, that is low, the flip-flop will remain in hold state only. Whenever the clock signal is 0, the flip-flop will be in hold state only. That means flip-flop will not respond irrespective of S is equal to 1, R is equal to 0, whatever may be the condition of S and R, the flip-flop will be in hold state. So earlier the latches used to change their output whenever they want, but here when the clock is low, the latches will not change their state. So whenever the clock is 0, irrespective of S and R, it will remain in hold state. It is Qn minus 1. If I call this as Qn bar, Qn minus 1 whole bar, and it will be in hold state. Okay. If I make clock is 1, and that time I have to check the S and R inputs. I will make S is 0, R is 0. What happens? Same thing, right? Any one of the input of the gate 1 and gate 2 are 1, in the sense both are outputs of G1 and G2 will be 1 1. Then again the same condition, it will go to hold state. When clock is 1, S is 0, R is 0, the same thing, Q remains in its previous state and Q bar also remains in its previous state. Okay. Whenever the clock is 1, S is 1, R is 0 only, what happens? When both the inputs of the G1 is 1, 1, the output will be 0, and any one of the input of G2 is 0, output will be 1. Assuming Q is at 0 and it is 1, anything you can assume. If it is at 0 and it is 1, what happens? 1 and 0 will be 1 only, 1 and 1 will be 0 only. That means it is going to set. If previously it is Q is 1 and Q bar is 0, it will remain in Q 1 and 0 only, because the flip flop is going to set now. I will tell you once again. If the Q, previously Q is at 0, it is going to be 1. If the Q is at 1, it will remain as 1 only. That means flip flop's condition for S is equal to 1, R is equal to 0 will be set state. It is going to set. That means flip flop is going to store 1 here. If it is 1, 1 and 1 will be 0, 0 and 0 will be 1. So, here I will get for clock is 1, S is equal to 1, R is equal to 0, the flip flop Qn is equal to 1 and Q bar is equal to 0, and it is going to set state. Whenever I change this, S is equal to 0 and R is equal to 1 and clock will be high only, what happens? This will be 1 and this will be 0. So, 1 and 0 will be, okay, previously what it was, this I have changed, right? Any one of the input of the G4 is 0, then it is 1, 1 and 1 will be 0. If it is earlier only, if it is 0 and 1, 1 and 1 0, 0 and 0 1, it is going to reset. The flip flop is going to reset. Whenever the clock is high, S is 1 and R is 1. When S is equal to R is equal to 1, what will be the condition? That is an invalid condition. Why? Because both the outputs of G3 and G4 are trying to be 1 only. As these are complementary outputs, both cannot be 1. That is one reason. And another reason, if both are 1, 1, if you go to hold state, or if you remove this clock, or you make clock 0, what happens? We cannot predict the state of the Q. That is the unpredictable state of the flip flop will exist. So, it is invalid condition. We don't know what will be Q, so it is invalid. So, for clocked SR flip flop, all the actions what we have studied in SR latch will remain same. Only thing, whenever the extra input has been added, that is clock or enable input, it will be called as. So, and depending on the clock input, the flip flop will act. Okay. Let me draw the timing diagram. It is clock signal. Initially, clock is at 0 and 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, and S, R and Q. Initially, Q at 0 I will take. Initially, Q is equal to 0. Then, if S is 0, if S is 0, R is 0, the Q is initially 0 only and it will remain in 0 only, hold state. if S is 1 and R is 0 only, and it will, Q will go to set state. When R is going to be 1 and S is 0, and it is going to reset state, Q is going to reset. When both are 1 1, when both S and R are 1 1, we don't know what is this, and it is called as invalid state. Okay, this is the timing diagram for clocked SR flip flop, where you should maintain whenever the clock signal goes high, the outputs will respond to the inputs. Otherwise, the output will be, if in between the clock pulse, if in between the clock pulse, if the clock pulse is at 0, if you change the input, the output will not change. Whenever the clock signal is high, during this duration, during this on time, if you change the input, the output will change. Whenever the clock signal is 0, that time if you change the input also, output will not change. Output will be changed only when clock signal goes high. Okay. So here what is going to happen? For clock is 0, it is maintaining hold state. For clock is 1, 1 0, the set state. Whenever S is 0, S is 1, R is 0, the flip flop is going to store 1. Whenever R is 0, R is 1, S is 0, then flip flop is going to store 0. And to maintain that state, we will use S is equal to R is equal to 0 0, right? But the invalid state, we want to get rid of that S is equal to and R is equal to 1. To avoid that condition, they have invented one more flip flop, that is D flip flop. That is D flip flop. It is also called as D stands for data flip flop. Why it is data flip flop? We will understand how to convert the clocked SR flip flop into D flip flop. If this is the clocked SR flip flop, there is only one input, that is D, and there is an inverter is placed between the S and R. NOT gate is placed. This is S, this is S, this is R, this is Q, this is Q bar. I'll write this in the circuit. Clock D flip flop, no need to mention S and R here, just only one input, that is D. This is the symbol of D flip flop. How to convert this? That is for a SR flip flop, right here, SR flip flop, clocked SR flip flop, SR, Q and Q bar. If you put an inverter in between S and R, then it will become a D flip flop. In circuit diagram, how to put the D flip flop? Q and Q bar are the outputs, here S and R, but this is not NOR gate. D flip flop can be obtained by inserting an inverter in between S and R inputs. By this, what happens, whenever you have to change only one input, whenever D is equal to 0, that means S is equal to 0, R is equal to 1 it will take. Whenever D is equal to 1, S is equal to 1, R is equal to 0 it will take. Okay, so how the truth table will go like this. Clock and D, Qn and Qn bar. What happens when D is equal to clock is 0? Whenever the clock is 0, whatever may be the input of the, whatever the input at D will not check, because that doesn't matter. Whenever the one of the inputs of these two gates is 0, output will be 1, and the flip flop, this latch is going to hold mode only. So it will remain in its previous state itself. So it is hold state whenever the clock is 0. Whenever clock is 1, D is 0. Whenever the clock is 1, D is 0, S is equal to 0 and R is equal to 1. When S is equal to 0, the output clock is 1, 0, 1, 1, 1 and 1 it will be 0. So if it is 1, previously if it is 0 and 1 and 0, previously if it is QZ, so 0 and 1 it will be 1 only, 1 and 0 it will be 1, 1 and 1 it will be again 0 only. So what happens? It is going to reset state. When clock is 1, D is 1, what happens when D is 1, S is equal to 1, R is equal to 0, here output will be 1 and here 1 and 1 output will be 0. So 0 and 1 will be 1, 1 and 1 will be 0. So it is going to set state, and only this, by this the invalid state can be removed. Here only one input, either you have to take D is equal to 0 or D is equal to 1, right. So the invalid condition occurs when both the inputs are 1, 1. So that state can be removed using D flip flop, but the disadvantage is, along with S is equal to R is equal to 1's condition removed, along with that there is a one more state, that is hold state. S is equal to R is equal to 0, that also has been removed. Both the inputs S and R cannot take the similar value in D flip flop, so the hold state also removed along with the invalid state. That is one of the disadvantage. So we want that state, right, memory state. By using D flip flop, data flip flop, we can store 1 or 0, but we cannot use the memory. That means if you want to keep that set state or reset state like that only, you cannot do using D flip flop. Along with that, S is equal to 0, R is equal to state 0 condition also removed. So to overcome that, they have invented one more flip flop, that is JK flip flop. Okay. Let me draw the timing diagram for D flip flop. For clock, for D is equal to 0 initially, if D goes high, Q, initially Q is 0, I will take. Whenever the D goes high, flip-flop sets Q also goes high. If D comes, D will be 0 in the sense flip-flop resets. Flip-flop sets and resets. Using D flip-flop you can do set and reset, not other than that. D can take only one value at a time, either 0 or 1. So this completes D flip-flop. In the next class we are going to study JK flip-flop. Okay, thank you.